Hello. Um, it's Prince Easy, and well, as usual, let's get to it. Well, that fake or quote unquote deep fake put in video, let me not take away from the context, okay, because I think the context was spot on, okay. The message was delivered in a type of deceptive way, but the context, I think, is far more important in this regard. Right, in this regard, and the context is really spot on, okay, and there are perspectives that I think people are not even considering when it comes to this bombshell of an information, right, that actually the scriptures, the Bible, were appropriated from the black peoples, right, who are the true Israelites, right, and this even goes far as to challenge the loyalties of Europe, right? Most of those royalty, apparently they claim that they have direct descendants in the tribe of Israel. That basically gives them legitimacy, all of them. And I don't know, I didn't know about this, but this came up. Somebody pointed this out, and I thought, wow, it is interesting, yeah? The ripple effects of this, right? And of course, this is to just um, keep people attention that really a tiny lie is actually a big lie when it's fully revealed. You know, it's only a small lie to the depth that you have actually gone to. But um, regardless of that, then you should not like take for granted any type of thing that comes up, right? And of course, it brings issues in the Vatican. Why it continued like that, right? Why it continued like that. And why hasn't the church made any? It might be an error that at one point it recognized, but it did not do any effort. Hence, it partook in the whole business. That's why we have these situations that we have right now. For a long time, okay? For a long time, these issues existed. You know, I would say it goes as far as the first conclave, even the first ever, where they decided which scriptures to make up what we now regard as the Bible, right? And really, um, how how our history radically changed in the 1700s, somewhere there. Our history was radically changed, and the force of destruction against the black people was actually ramped up in this period, right? And some people even go as far as to say that this situation was created by lack of labor, because these conquerors, colonialists went in there and killed the indigenous, and hence there wasn't any labor really to work. So they came here to take people to work over there, right? Well, like I said before, it's the punishment, and we need to understand why, in order for us to not succumb to that same mistake again. It was a punishment. It needs to be made clear. It's not what you know. The issue, I think, with most of the people in this African awakening movement, I think they are too angry. They are too angry. you know. But they're not really working hard enough to find the culprit. They just say it's the king, but the conspiracy goes far as the king, you know. I don't know, it was in, I don't know, Nigeria or where. Basically, in this castle that they built in the coast, it was as somehow a place where they could sell and buy slaves. Basically, they had the skull and bones insignia on the entrance, and people are like, it's right there, like, why don't you say it, you know. That's the hidden, that's how good they are at hiding stuff, right? So whatever they give you is just, you have to think of it as just some sort of scapegoat to their agenda, right? So people have been chasing scapegoats for a long time, you know, and they need to focus on what's really happening in the background, what they are really being distracted from, you know, and that's what we are talking about, and that's what we are about here, basically. Yeah. So we are going as far as the truth takes us. Yeah, and we are not doing this out of fear, but rather for the truth's sake. Let's just say, yeah. So in the agendas, I think those who are taking up the school of medicine, I think when they leave university, they only, it's like their life begins, yeah, in these schools where they train, yeah, schools where they train to become doctors. You know, I think more effort should be, because there is a shortage of doctors in this nation, yeah, and the population, as it rises, the demand will also rise radically. I think I've alluded to this fact, right? So their training should be taken like really serious, and it should have supervision. Yeah, it's like they're beginning a new life. They don't know nothing about nothing. They just know cadavers and stuff like that, you know. They've never actually talked to a person, and you know, that experience that comes with actually doing something, you know. And guidance is required, because at this moment is where they make and break, yeah, where they make and break this important profession, yeah. So that's all when it comes to agendas, yeah? So let's move on. So the last video I had this picture as the thumbnail. Okay, in order for you to understand this picture, I think you should read Enoch. And some other guy, I think, alluded to this. Everything is, I just know the truth, but not who told you, rather. Yeah? I think it's Enoch or the other books that in the New Testament. Somebody had a dream about this, and basically, this is a symbol of kingdoms, right? The legs and bronze and head of gold and stuff like that, and people have made correlations to actually kingdoms that have come and went, right? So the entire thing will be destroyed by a projectile from the heavens and smash it to pieces, basically destroying the kingdoms of Satan. Yeah. So every color, the legs to the ankles is a different color, the body, the bronze is a different color, and of course we have the gold and that other one, I don't know, it's iron or whatever, I don't know, but really that's where it's from. Yeah. So these are those books that somehow made it through and were preserved the truth within him was preserved. And indeed, it talks about the Jews being black in this book here, right? I've seen extracts. And of course, there's this book going around out there, right? And basically, it has a collection of really old depictions of biblical icons. And inside them, of course, we have the controversial, but rather the truth, that most of the biblical figures, not all of them, but let's say all of them, were actually black, and they preserved somewhere. Someone, Vladimir, write this. And of course, been experiencing pain in this region that has been allocated. Of course, they are going for the vagus nerve as usual, and somehow in my body it manifests as extreme pain, and this time it was on my left arm. Now I don't know what significance that holds, and I would follow up to find out really how everything is connected, and I know everything is respectively connected. Now, for those who know the nervous system, I think they know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's the weapon that I've deployed here. So, I thought this was funny, right? People been knowing. It's like they're digging their own graves. Maybe it's a deception. Maybe it's too obvious. Maybe that's a deception. Okay, let's talk about this eclipse. Yeah. Like I've said in that video, there is a lot of witchcraft being involved in this situation, right? Now let me show you some bizarre things, and I haven't seen any people pointing this out, right? So this is the new Bugatti, right? This is the new Bugatti, and look at the iconic headlights, right? And then this is another company. This company makes, or rather assembles, computers. And look at the logo, right? If that's not enough, we have this guy, yeah? So even that X in SpaceX, really, I will show you something what this whole X is about, yeah? And of course we have the famous new logo, right? They wanna show you that there's a difference, not a normal X. Yeah, that's why they gave it they made the other one thicker, the other one thinner, right? They are trying to say something. And of course we have this activity going on, yeah? So they thought that it was a perfect moment to launch rockets, and they named this Operation Ra, as in the god of war in the Egyptian mythos, yeah? And their bodies over there at CERN, colliding particles, also think that it's an opportune time, right? So we have Bugatti with the X, Elon with the X, Elon again with the X, and Stadia, Xadax with the X, a very particular type of X, as you can see, right? The styling, the styling. Okay, look at the styling. Yeah, the leading, there's one bar is leading towards the left, and the other one is cutting across, going to the right, right? It's the same thing as this logo, yeah? Now this is the eclipse, yeah? So we have one going from left to right, and it's leaning and it's curved a little bit, and the other one is straight, going along with this logo here, this particular X, right? So they are all talking about this eclipse. Even this Bugatti here, it is this eclipse. It's talking about this eclipse. Now, I personally don't think all of this pre-programming is for nothing. I do not think so. Yeah, and if you put hand in hand the weapons that are being deployed right now, this avian flu. I know it's the avian flu. Let me let me tell you, right? We keep livestock, yeah, and now the livestock are like dead. Chickens, they are dead with flu, right? And as usual, me with my electricity cord going near them, they cough a lot, so I know that it's a lung type of infection, it's an avian flu type of infection, and they're dying like horribly. Yeah, so it is indeed like avian flu. That's what they've been talking about the masses, So, um, well, the only thing that I can tell you is these are rituals, There is nothing that happens, They do these things first in the spirit realm, and then they do this then in this world, right? So they've been preparing for this for a long time, And I hope like I can find even more of these people using this X, yeah. And we know like X is gonna be some sort of disease, yeah. So we have people gathering, yeah. People gathering like the people who gathered during the quote unquote New Year celebration, that got blamed for the spread of the whole pandemic back then. But this is unusual. Let's just say that. I've shown you the companies and how radical and how different. Yeah. So we have a social media, we have a computer making company, we have a aircraft making company, and we have a vehicle manufacturing company. So one should rather be suspicious and put oneself in the hands of a higher power in case anything kicks off, because these people have proven to me beyond doubt that they are completely out of their minds and their way is completely wicked, like wicked, the type of wicked that cannot even be imagined by a person, let me just say that. Okay, so that's just something I just want to put that out there, and these are like open warnings, these are like open warnings, this is creepy, right? Come on, people, this is creepy, this is unusual, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. So like there is something about this that people should be paying attention to, yeah. And knowing, like NASA said, yeah, Ra, it's all about war. It's all about war, yeah, and their war on humanity. Yeah, they want you to die. That's what they want. They want you to die. They want us weak enough to be put under control. Yeah, and somehow we will have our hands in it. Yeah, we will have our hands in our own demise. So I think people should pay attention. Yeah. General Easy signing out. Bye.